Hey guys, it's Cal from the Lighting Doctor here, and today I just want to share with you guys one of our consultation videos. So it's something that you can access at our website, lightingdoctor.ca, where you can send us some pictures of your property, and we're going to give you a consultation video much like this one that's going to show you all kinds of different ideas and things that you can do on your property, as well as some different tips and some different lights to use. So this is a great example of a beautiful second-story home with some beautiful brick features, a lot of extensive landscapes, some large trees. So it's a really good opportunity for you to get a feel for some of the best lights to use in all the different areas. So we do these consultation videos all the time. So if you guys like them, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel for all kinds of other do-it-yourself landscape lighting resources, and go and access all our other free tools and resources at lightingdoctor.ca, and let's get into it. Happy to give you some direction here. I think you're more than likely going to be looking at like a custom kit where we can kind of help put together the different pieces for you, because just you have some nice features that I think it would be worth just using maybe some non-standard stuff in a lot of those kits, just to really highlight things well. But for example, like any trees like this that are, I would say, under 20 feet high, really you get away with like a standard accent light like this guy. It has a 20 watt equivalent lamp, which is about a 4 watt LED lamp in there. And then for some of the other areas, you're going to want to use a slightly brighter, which is like a 35 watt equivalent. So it's just a little bit brighter to get light to those top peaks. But what I would do on a tree like this is I would just get one simple accent light kind of at the base right around here that's shining pretty straight up, so you're catching a lot of the trunk and branching structures and then some of the foliage as well. My real other focus would be on the house. I mean, you got some beautiful brickwork, some beautiful stonework, and I think it would be a shame if you didn't highlight some of that. So what I would probably do with that is I would use that same light that I talked about, but that's where most of the places in your house, I would upgrade that to the 35 watt equivalent. It also has a slightly narrower beam angle. The reason that's good is because now what I would do is I would have that fairly close to the house. You're maybe 12 to 18 inches back from the actual brick, and I'm hoping that there's enough room behind these shrubs to do that. If not, something else you can do is you can always put the light on a riser so that you can get it kind of right here, so that you're still getting that effect from here. You just have to add the risers, which is easy to do. You can even just go to Home Depot, get a piece of threaded 1/2 inch pipe, and all the fixtures have a 1/2 inch thread on the bottom of them. So as long as you have something that you can screw that 1/2 inch thread into from the fixture, and then on the other end you have something that you can screw into a 1/2 inch ground stake, then you can do that. But if you have room behind those, then you don't have to worry about that, and you don't need a lot. You only need maybe 12 inches or so to be able to get that light. But the way I would do that is I would try and have two of those lighter intensity lights on both sides of the windows here, kind of underneath the shutters, shining up so that it's really highlighting this area. I would do the same over here on both sides of the window so that you're really pushing that light to the top. And I would use that same light on the corners here. Even though this one is kind of behind this bush, it's going to have that nice balance, and I'll talk to you about some things in the front you can do as well. But I would have them on both corners, and then I would also have them kind of in between the two windowsills, and that's going to give you the effect. You see a lot of those really nice houses that are lit with landscape lighting. They really spend a lot of time focusing on really on the front of the house here. And then the other thing I would do, and I'm just trying to see if it's possible. I can't quite see. Here we go. So I see you have the gutter here. What you could do, and what I probably would do, is I would probably try and mount another one of those accent lights. It can just be the standard 20 watt equivalent one, actually in the gutter here, and have that kind of shining this way so that you're catching this whole second story here as well as this peak. It's really simple to do because you can actually just drop the wire right down in the actual eaves trough and gutter, run it in here. All the connections are waterproof, and then we have these gutter mounts that you can use to mount it. And what that is I'll just show you real quick. And forgive me, my internet's a little slow. I'm out in the middle of the mountains actually right now, so things are moving a little bit slower. But these gutter mounts here actually fit right into the gutter, and then you can screw your light into there, and I would use that to highlight this second story peak. So In summary, for that front of the house, I'd be looking at those 35 watt equivalent lamps. I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 more over here. So I would have 8. And then I would have just a standard one up here, so 9. And then it all depends. I mean, I love lighting these pillars in the entryway. If there's any way behind these bushes to get one of those accent lights that highlights up these pillars, I would definitely do that as well. That one you can just use a standard 20 watt equivalent or 4 watt LED lamp. The nice thing is the light hits this top section and it kind of spreads, so it almost lights this entire archway. It makes the home really inviting. So if you have room to get a light behind there, I would definitely try and do that as well. Even if you have to trim some of the bushes back or something to get that light, that would probably be an area I would really focus on. And then for the front level, it's really up to you. I'm a big fan of lighting the back, but you will have a bit of a dark spot here. So a light that I like to use in those cases is a wash light. Especially on any of those lower line shrubs and stuff, a wash light is very similar to an accent light. The difference is it's not as bright, not as intense, wider angle, and that's why I would use it in areas like this. So for example, if you have this and this kind of lit in the back, then I might look at throwing one of those wash lights kind of in here and maybe another one over here. And then this tree is going to be tricky to light unless you've got a lot of room here to put like an accent light that you can kind of shine at the tree, just because it's growing away from the light. So it's one, I think if you can more focus on 2 or 3 wash lights down below here in between where you have the accent lights. So say for example on the windows, on the 3 windows, but highlighting the bushes, I think it would be a real nice balance of uplight and then some downlight. And then if you can get a accent light somewhere over here on this tree, you can do that. Or I think it would be fine to leave it out, because sometimes it's okay just to have things backlit, and then you have kind of the silhouette of the plant in front of it. So, and same thing over here. I'd probably try and get one of those wash lights in here. And then for the front here, I mean, same thing. You're going to have some darker spots, so I might try one of those wash lights in front here, try and get one in front over here, and try and get like another one over here. Really, again, just so you're creating that balance of some higher level light up here and then some lower line stuff here, and really eliminating some of these dark spots. The other thing you could do, I mean, a lot of people will use path lights along areas like that. I'm not a huge fan of using a ton of path lights. I just think you get more bang for your buck out of wash lights, and it's easier to hide the fixture than with a path light. So I would probably try and stick to the wash light in the front. And then now seeing this picture, I would definitely leave this guy out, and I would really highlight this tree. I would use just 2 of those standard 20 watt equivalent accent lights, and I would probably try and light it kind of from this side over here and this side over here, just because it's such a big tree. You have so many branching structures and such a wide canopy that if you try and do it with one light, I think you're going to miss out on some things. But if you try and get it from 2 angles, and have those shining, you know, have it probably around here and shining more straight up, because you're still going to get a lot of that branching, as well as it's going to catch more of the canopy by doing that. And I wouldn't put much else in this area, because I really think that's going to be the feature that you want to highlight. And then definitely you can get some lights over here. The thing you know, with a project of this size, you're probably going to look at 2 separate transformers. I would probably try and look at a transformer to do a lot of this front area, and then you might have one in the back and run those wires over here, because I'm not sure if you have any sleeving or anything under the driveway where you can get wire over here. But this is again where I would just use one of those standard 35 or 20 watt equivalent uplights on this tree. I would probably throw one of the 35 watt equivalent ones on this back tree, and then I would probably try and do the same over to like this taller one. And really, you're not trying to light every tree, but even if there's some back here that you wanted to, it's really as you're just kind of trying to create like a little bit of a perimeter of light. So maybe 4 to 5 of the taller 35 watt equivalent lights back here, so that as you're looking the driveway, you really notice the perimeter of the property, and then the one up front here. And then around the back, I mean, there's so many things you could do. You've got all this fence and stuff here. I wouldn't worry too much about that. I mean, if you are planting some trees like this is where I would try and accent again, like maybe 3 or 4 of those if you're planting some of those. And a lot of times we'll plant trees, even if they're smaller ones, really because I just want to create that perimeter lighting so that as I'm looking out in these areas, it's not just this big dark spot, and I can really see where my property ends. It also makes the whole property look bigger. So I would definitely do that. On any of the smaller trees or shrubs that maybe you have here, this is where I would maybe put a wash light, but I think I would really focus the accent lights on the exterior on some of the taller trees. And I can't really tell. I know you have one here, and I'm not too sure if there's other ones here, but if you had kind of like some stuff over here that you could accent to border that perimeter, would be really good. I like the same thing like this, a tree like this, I would definitely get an accent light on and try and highlight that. And then any other ones that you have here, again, just to set up that perimeter. On these kind of pergola areas, there's two examples, there's two ideas that you can do. One takes a little bit more work, one's a little easier. I think they both look great. One option is to have those accent lights, just those standard 20 watt equivalent ones, kind of on the base, so it shines up the post, and then that light kind of hits the top, and it almost makes like a lit archway. The other way of doing it is with some hanging lights like this, where you kind of have them hanging from the top of the pergola. The only reason you may not want to do that, I like the look, if you had them kind of hanging over here and hanging over here, is just that if you're lying here at night, then you have those shining right in your eye, whereas this really just highlights the feature. And looking out from this area, it would be really cool to kind of have that area lit up. I probably wouldn't put a whole lot in here. I mean, you definitely could, but if you do a good job with the perimeter lighting, I would focus more on the wall in front. Yeah, for sure, I would do that, because you've got some cool features and some cool viney things here. This is again where I would use those wash lights. I'd probably try and have a wash light kind of on this shrub. I would probably try and have a wash light on not every one of these, but maybe on this one and maybe on this one. And then I might try and do another one or two over here. Again, you're creating that perimeter lighting, but at different levels and different intensities. So same thing back here. I mean, you've got this guy. I would light that. I would try and light that. I would try and, if there was another one here, I'm not sure if that's on your property or not, I would probably try and light that. Again, you don't need to light every single thing, but if you just focus on a couple of the bigger aspects and the feature ones in the background, it creates that perimeter. And then you kind of have like an inner perimeter here, where you're really featuring some kind of cool plants and things that you have in here. So that's what I would do in that area. And then, yeah, and I think that mainly covers it. You did send one more picture. This guy here, I mean, oh, and I like this. I'm not too sure what you've got going on here, but I mean, this is something else I might try and highlight. Again, if you've got some perimeter lighting back here, even if you wanted to cheat a little bit and throw like a light up here that kind of catches some of these, you totally can too. We've done that in the past, but you don't have to if you've got something. But if you have something like this, I mean, this is where, again, I would try and use one or two wash lights to really highlight it. I'm not sure if that's a sitting area back there or what, but I definitely like the idea of anytime you kind of have like a unique feature like that, those wash lights are really good. And then the last thing that I will mention is if you wanted to do anything around here, I do like these planter pot ideas. And a lot of times what we'll do, you just have to be careful sometimes around a pool area, because you don't want to be looking up into that light. But sometimes if these were moved back a little bit, we'll actually run wire just up the side, and usually you don't see it, through the drainage hole at the bottom, and then put like a path and garden light somewhere up here, so it kind of lights these areas, this stair area a little bit, and as you're looking out from the house, it just gives a little bit light to this area here. So that's an idea for you. So, you know, if I go back in summary, I mean, you've really got a great property. You're going to have to decide how many lights is too many, but focus on the perimeter with some of the bigger trees, because those are the ones that are going to give you more bang for your buck and really stand out. Any unique features like this, I would try and get some lights on. If they're under 6 feet, use a wash light. Same thing with shrubs and whatnot. You know, any of these taller trees, go with that 35 watt equivalent. Highlight some of these trees with more than one light. Really do a good job on the front of the house with some accent lights, some wash lights for that lower level lighting. And I think that pretty much covers it. I'd be happy to put together a kit for you. One thing I didn't mention is you may want to also, if you have those 35 watt equivalent lights on this side of the house, I think you would probably want to do the same along the side here, and all that's going to do is it's going to extend the viewing angle. So now you kind of have like a 360-degree viewing angle of your house with light, whereas if you weren't to put anything here, I think you would definitely find this would be a dark spot. It would look kind of out of place, but just by throwing maybe 2 of those lights kind of evenly spaced along the side here would just round out that that lighting design. So again, I hope that gives you some good ideas. I know it's a lot, but please let me know if you have any questions, and I'd be more than happy to customize a kit with those. Just let me know what you like, what you don't like, and if you have different power sources where those might be, I think you'd probably want to use 2 separate transformers. The nice thing is with our Wi-Fi plugs, you can still run those on the exact same app. You don't have to run out to 2 different transformers to turn lights on and off. So I look forward to hearing.
Hey guys, I hope you got a lot out of that consultation video, and make sure you guys take advantage of it. Go to our website at lightingdoctor.ca where you can click on the consultation link, and it'll tell you all the instructions. All you basically need to do is send me a couple pictures of your property so we can do the same kind of consultation for you guys. And while you're there, be sure to check out all our free resources as well. So just to recap, in that video, there's a lot of good points. You know, first thing is just highlight your house as much as possible. If you can, your house is your biggest asset, so why wouldn't you want to go and highlight that and accent that, and the nice brickwork and all the architectural features? That's the #1 takeaway I want you guys to take from this video. Also, we talked a little bit about lighting those second-story peaks using gutter mounts. Also, some options where you can actually put your light on a riser so that you can get it above some of those thick bushes. We talked about the option of using more uplights than path lights. It's a huge mistake that a lot of people make. They use way more path lights than they need to when they're going to get the bulk of their effect out of uplighting different features with wash lights and with uplights. And another thing that's a really important feature about this project is when you're using a bigger project, you just want to keep your life simple, use more than 1 transformer. It's going to be a lot of times way easier to use 2 transformers than trying to fit everything on one system, running all that extra wire, when 2 transformers can be a really good option. And with a lot of the Wi-Fi timer options that are out there, you can still control both of those transformers with 1 single app. The last point that I wanted to touch on is perimeter lighting. Perimeter lighting is a great way just to go and make your property look bigger, so be sure to take advantage of that. Again, if you need more free resources, go to our website, lightingdoctor.ca, like this video, subscribe to our channel for all kinds more videos like this, and we can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.